Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Never Had a Boyfriend with me, Katie Green. Today I'm joined by a very good friend, a very funny comedian, Ali Woods. He knows me very well and has traveled with me, so I'm excited to share this episode with you. If you've enjoyed listening and want to support, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a 5-star review. And if you really, really love this project, this podcast series, I do have a Patreon where you can get early access to episodes, exclusive content, and more. And that will all go to Patreon first. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Never had a boyfriend with Katie Green.
Well, Ali Woods, hello, welcome to my podcast.
It's such a pleasure to be here. I hope this one goes out.
This is going to
If you're listening to this, this has already gone way better than last time I did a podcast with Katie. Was what I'll say.
Okay, I may or may not have released that one because I didn't edit it.
Yeah.
But I have all the raw footage. If someone wants to listen to it or edit it, it's there for you.
If this is going to be episode 2, I don't know if it will be. I don't know if it will ever go out. But I think at this point, Katie is doing all this editing herself. If anyone is a fan of this podcast or a fan of Katie's and is an editor and can help out, that's the official reach out, I think.
That's fantastic.
Do it on the pod. I'll do it for you so it doesn't sound desperate, because just desperate is kind of your vibe. So I'll take over to make it sound a bit more professional, a bit more. I've got more entitlement.
Yeah.
Hey, you should really be editing this. So however, you're listening to this, not even helping.
Yeah, that's
Rude.
what a man. Wow. Well, welcome to my podcast.
Hi.
Never had a boyfriend.
Oh, pleasure.
Um,
How'd you come up with the name?
It's just
Right, what you know.
just really. Oh man, just life experiences.
Yeah.
Has brought me to this. I it's actually a bit not true. I did have a boyfriend for 1 week in 7th grade, but I never spoke to him.
Oh, that's why it lasted that long.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself on Friday, and then Friday night on MSN. Hey, just think it's not working out.
Yeah, my friend did all the admin. She was like, "Hey, you should date this guy."
Oh,
And
the original Hinge.
Yeah, the original Hinge. Yeah, and she's like, "You should date this guy." I'm like, "Okay." Didn't even like him, and then she went up to him and was like, "You're dating Katie now. She's your girlfriend." And then I was like,
Wow.
I was so stressed out. And then by the end of the week, he messaged me saying, "I don't think we should be boyfriend and girlfriend because I haven't talked to you."
Never met you. Your friend's like a sort of Indian mother, just being like, "You're together now. I've sorted it. I've arranged it with the family. Everything's done." And you just go, "Okay."
Honestly, I would love that.
Do you know? But in India they target dating apps to parents
Really?
to be like, "Yeah, get your child on there so you can match their partner." I mean, not every dating app's like that, but yeah. So that's an option. So imagine
Wow.
maybe that's an option for you. Maybe get your mum on.
You know what? I tried to work on a bit a while ago about how I think after 30, arranged marriages, I'd prefer it.
Yeah. Well, love at first sight is the Western arranged marriage, isn't it? That's arranged marriage for white people. It's
Oh, I've never seen it.
what? I just assume you consumed all the sort of Netflix love-based reality TV content, but no.
No, I
Not for
do
you.
consume a lot of literature. Like I consume a lot
Easy
of.
behind you, yeah. It's a lot
I
of-
consume
a lot of how to fall in love behind you.
Yeah.
there. Not a lot of work going on in the field, but the theory is unbelievable.
Yeah, my theory work is really next level, I'd say.
Yeah. You're
I
an
know a
expert.
lot about what to do, when to do it. But
But could never actually. You're like a coach. You're like the people, like, in football becomes so technical now that people become coaches who've never played it. That's you. You
Yeah.
just know all the systems
Yeah.
and everything. You're very analytical. You're like Moneyball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you.
I the book The Game?
What?
You
What's
read
this?
it. You read it.
Huh? What's a book?
My obsession. I was obsessed with The Game.
Really?
You?
You're like, I need to learn how to defeat this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's right. Because Evaldes was like, you are every girl who's depicted in the game.
So he's read the game.
I think everyone. I think a lot of guys have.
I have not read the game.
Have you not read the game?
Why would I read the game?
But you've been on Reddit, which is the new game.
I've not been on. I've not got Reddit. I've never had a Reddit account.
You never had a Reddit
No,
account.
No. But this is why I find it quite easy to meet women. I think it's because I don't do any of the research done by men. I just go out there.
Wow.
I think I've not been on apps for 8.5 years. I never had Hinge. I predate Hinge, and that's because I wasn't not because I got into relationships, but I was on Tinder, Bumble, and Happen at the start of 2017, and I just thought, you know what, can't be asked.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is quite interesting because when you and I met, we both had never been in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I was on your podcast. We talked about having both not been in a relationship.
Yeah.
And since then, you've been in two.
I'm still in one, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've had one that was finalised and completed.
Yes.
Moved on. And then now I'm in another one. Yeah. Things have changed because we used to bond on that. And
We
I
used to bond
I
on
didn't get
that.
in a relationship till I was 28. Not proper one.
We did initially really bond on that. And so why do you think you had not been in a relationship for so long?
I mean, obviously to get away from sort of like jokey answers to actually be sincere, it's probably like I think part of it was genuinely what I was focusing on
Yeah.
in my life, and so you know what it's like working 5 days a week at work. So early on, I think before I started doing comedy, up until sort of 22, 23, I was like, well, who needs a relationship? Uni, I was like, I'm not going to get in a relationship. Like what? And I always just thought I'll meet someone perfect down the line.
And you had that toxic relationship girl in uni, right? Do I
on
remember
off
that right?
thing, big on off thing. And no, she wasn't toxic, and I wasn't. I think that was just very immature from I think both of us.
Okay.
I think, and we're not meant to be together. We were never meant to be together. We're friends now. We're not close. Like she lives far away. She lives hundreds of miles away, as per the contract. But So I had a year and a half at uni with someone where I like really fancied them. But then I always felt like, because it was part of the friendship group, and I was like, no, I shouldn't really try. And then I was kind of trying, and then I would, and then I'd be really besotted with her. And then maybe she'd reciprocate, and it was great. And then she'd go off and go, oh, I don't like that actually. Like, or maybe it's not a good idea. And then I'd be miserable. And then on the rare occasions where it was like she was into me genuinely, I'd be like, oh, well, now I don't know if I want this. Yeah. Classic sort of like not feeling like I deserve someone's affection.
Right.
Like if that was always a red flag for me. Always. If someone liked me, I think, what's wrong with you? What? You must be fucked. That was a thing for me for years.
Yeah, I have that a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think also the longer you go without being in a relationship, the more you kind of, you're like, oh, I'm the problem. But I do think actually, I mean, you've known me for quite some time now. Why do you think I don't have a boyfriend?
Straight up?
Yeah, I like the honest truth.
Well, I feel like we chatted about this when we had our fantastic tour of Brazil. 2 dates. Sold well.
Incredibly well.
Paid for the holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Not holiday, work trip.
Work trip.
If anyone from HOMRC is listening.
We worked really hard.
We worked very hard. But yeah, I mean, I think why you're not in a relationship, I think there's a multitude of reasons. I think there's so much going on. I mean, I do think it's a personality problem.
Yeah.
I think it's a mental health problem. If you want the honesty.
Episode 2, when it's still brought up.
Yeah. But anyone who knows you, I think this will be the issue. Because, Katie, you have a lot of people who think you're very attractive. That's not an issue.
But I don't trust those people.
Yeah, so that's the issue.
Yeah. But I'm quite quirky, I've got...
I will say there's definitely a thing that guys, a lot of guys don't like a woman to have like a proper strong personality. And I think that's a sort of inherent sexist thing in society. I think there's a lot of guys who are very insecure. Yeah. They want to be the funny one. They want to be the nerdy one sometimes. Like they find it, like they want their girlfriend to be actually very bland. Oh, she just likes going for brunch and like when you bring a lot of personality to a relationship or dating, I'd say. And I think there's probably a lot of insecure guys who actually that's a put off for them, which is sad.
You think a lot of guys do go for a girl who's particularly bland?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of guys who want to bring the personality and they want their girlfriend to bring the looks. That's just my theory.
Oh.
It's not based on anything.
And that's what you see.
I think that's most straight couples. I think that's the vibe that the guy would want. You see them at gigs, couples at gigs. And, when you talk to them, I think you can always say to the guy, you're punching here. I've seen MCs do that when they have a straight couple and they go to the guy, you're punching with her. Everyone's happy, right? You're slagging off the guy so the audience are happy. Yeah. But you're also complimenting the guy. You're like, I don't even know you two, but she is better looking than you. And for the guy, that's a compliment. It's like, great. Whereas I think if you did it the other way around, where you said to this woman, you're like, wow, he's way better looking than you. That's not people aren't happy with that. The audience aren't happy.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone. Yeah.
No. Whereas the other way around is seen socially completely acceptable, and also that's like a good thing, because it's like, well done the guy. He must be funny or really nice or really caring or make a lot of money. Like, he's done something well.
Yeah, it's true. I remember.
But the woman doesn't need to have a personality. We don't need to know anything about the woman. We just need to know that she's beautiful.
Yeah. I remember when I was in California, someone called me a cunt, and you can't. That's really
It was a date,
yeah. Just my type.
Yeah, you probably went, was he flirting?
But this guy, I was driving, and this guy called me a cunt, and someone was like, "Are you okay? Like, that's the most offensive word." And I was
in
like,
America, yes.
Yeah, but I was like, he could have called me ugly.
Ah.
Like, that is far. I would cry.
Yeah.
Because I was driving like a cunt, so it's fair. But like I
But I looked fit. It looked great.
Yeah, but I think if someone calls you like, and I think that's why social media, men know how to get women, because it's just, you can just go fully looks like.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
It's so fortunate being a guy posting stuff online.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it boggles my mind when you have male comics who are like, well, you know, she's only getting traction online because she's fit. Like, when I was out in New York, I feel like, again, this is an American thing. I think they're a lot more entrenched in their gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
Even people who are like in the arts like we are more entrenched in gender roles, whereas here, I think, whether it's a European thing, British thing, whatever, there's a bit more fluidity. But there it's like, New York comics were like, well, my clips would go viral if I was a hot woman, so that's it. Like, that guy would just say that.
Yeah.
But and with no appreciation of the scrutiny. However, because the best looking woman in the world could post, there'll be some guy with 4 chins with a selfie pic going mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugly. Too much makeup.
Yeah.
Guys will never have that.
Especially when you're a girl trying to be funny. I think that then it's
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, we've said this before, that, I mean, again, this is, I think, and this is, we'll get onto the you problems later. If we've got enough time, we'll need a few hours. But the social, I think you have social problems working against you in that. I've said this before, and I was in Ireland with a couple of comics, both single, guy and girl, and I said, I bet I can guess this. Guy, you've put that you do stand up on your dating app on Hinge, and the girl, you haven't, and it was exactly right.
Yeah.
And that tells you everything you need to know. Your profession, men are intimidated by it.
Yeah.
They don't find it appealing or sexy.
Yeah.
It's like a problem.
I think there's multiple issues. They either find it intimidating, or they want to do it, or they
think they're
don't.
funnier.
Yeah. Or they think they're funnier. But I hate talking about it. Like, it's not on my Hinge profile. I hate bringing it up. Like, if I'm on Hinge and a guy asks for my Instagram, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to give you my Instagram.
You don't hate talking about comedy with other comedians, though.
I love talking about comedy with other comedians.
So what's
I don't want to have a random conversation with a guy who doesn't really believe in it, or doesn't like really think it's like I was seeing one guy, and he was so dismissive of comedy, and it was like when I was just kind of starting to really take it seriously.
dismissive in what way?
Just like, don't do it.
Really?
Like-
Like he didn't like comedy, or didn't like the idea that you
Me doing it, and then like there was one thing.
What a charmer!
There was
I'm really passionate about this. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That'd be so good. If the genders were the other way around, he'd be like, "What a psycho."
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I really love playing football on 5-a-side every night," and she was like, "Fucking cut that out."
Yeah.
And
But it was like this. It was unattractive. Also, the thing he's like, don't talk about me. Please never talk about me. Which I think it's hard. I think it's hard because when you are dating somebody, I don't fish for it. I don't go and do it but like sometimes things happen. And
of course, that's part of the job. And I do feel, for my girlfriend, I feel for partners of comedians in general.
Yeah.
I feel, because that, if you're going to go, I want to go and talk about life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff that my girlfriend says, you know, like, would you put that in? And it's stuff she's concerned about. And I would go, no, because it's not funny. But there is stuff that is embarrassing about our relationship and intimate that I do talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's supportive. She's not there going, I'm so happy you talk about that. But she's supportive by going, it's fine. I can be okay
and
with
I think
that.
that's such a good trait to find in a partner.
yeah.
I think it's very hard to find that, someone who's like
100%.
really, really supportive. This was when I dated a comedian. It was actually nice sometimes because if a joke really worked, that was about him, he would find joy in it.
Nice.
So, and I was like, I'm like, you don't find that every day.
No.
Like, it's very hard to find.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, so dating a comedian would like in a way is like the perfect. And it's funny. That's what I don't know. Your single or your friends talking about it would say to me. They would say to me, my friends. I don't know when you were talking to your friends. I butchered that sentence, but they would go, why don't you date a comedian? Because that's the easiest. But no, it's not good.
Most of my friends would never recommend me to date a comedian. Most of my friends are like, date somebody in marketing, date somebody in.
Really?
Who's got like a stable job, or they're like, okay, date someone who kind of works in the industry adjacent.
Yeah, because I had that in my first relationship, and that did work well in that she understood comedy, worked similar hours. That was great. But yes, wasn't a comedian, so wasn't also going up on stage and talking about us. And
yeah,
didn't have that sort of dating a comedian. I guess there's like a weird competitive element in that you're kind of reaching for the same goals.
Yeah, it does get really competitive.
Someone's always doing better, right? I mean, that's just objectively, like it could shift in that, but we've seen it with some comic relationships where they really struggle with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. But then even, we broke up and it's even weird just having someone in the industry and so many mutual friends. And that's kind of strange to still be there. So I would definitely, I'm enjoying this now, really dating someone who's completely removed from it.
Yeah.
I would say, though, again, one of the disadvantages for you trying to find a partner that my girlfriend has, my ex certainly has because I did a whole show about it, but like the idea of the breakup and then having to see that person online if they get famous or,
brutal.
I feel for
Brutal.
people. I feel my current girlfriend, we're great, it's all going wicked. But we've talked about it, and it's like she's like bracing herself for it. Like if we did break up, that's hard.
Yeah,
like, I could easily not see her unless she decided she wanted to start doing TikTok.
It is, but I also do find that quite attractive when I always say like my dream guy has like 72 followers on Instagram and follows 24, and
yeah, all men.
Yeah, all men.
All men from school.
All men.
Nice.
Yeah,
all, nice.
all like politicians.
Yes.
Just Barack Obama
Thinkers.
and 7 other Barack Obama accounts.
Yeah, Barack Obama fan, Barack Obama stan, Barack Obama clips.
Yeah, just Barack.
He runs 3 of them.
But
why isn't there are literally no guys like that out there. So bars on the floor. Someone said this to me. Your exes haunt you. And I think there's something to that. I think that's a good way to put it because haunting and ghosts is not even necessarily a bad thing, right? Culturally, ghosts, they can be positive and negative and stuff. But it's just that they're around and kind of unwelcome. And they kind of come just at points in your life. As you say, you'll be chatting to someone and they'll go, oh, have you seen blah, blah? I saw this clip, blah, blah, blah. Or like I'll be talking to someone and they'll be going, oh, you were with blah, because yeah, they're doing that. Have you seen that? And you're just like, I don't want to hear any of this.
I don't want, yeah.
I would like that person to be not in my life anymore. I'm jealous of my girlfriend because all her exes, she has just a separation from them, which is nice.
That's amazing.
The way to do it.
Do you think about the people that you date though? Because I think
Of
about them
course.
regularly.
100%.
And do you look them up? No.
I mean, with my ex, there was I think there was one time they were in another comedian's photo and I just opened my Instagram and I was like, oh, there they are, And then I went, I would look at their profile and then I saw it was like public and it didn't used to be public when we were dating. And I kind of thought, oh, this is too weird. I'm not going to look through this. And I just closed it.
See,
But
that's
as
really...
close as I've got to it. I've never...
Oh, on me, I'm like every day.
Yeah, wow.
I look every day.
It's just at their profile.
Just at the profile, tag pics, everything. Scroll down to the bottom, everything.
So what are you hoping to
Who they
achieve from
follow?
that?
I look at the numbers.
Wow. And what are you hoping to achieve from that?
I think it's a form of self-harm. I actually do think it's a
No,
form
I
of...
agree with you. I completely agree.
I become really obsessed.
Mm.
I become really, really obsessed. It's a really... And I think this is a problem of like not been in a relationship. It's like I'll fixate on like the worst things.
Mm. So the closest I have to that is probably when Man United lose a really embarrassing game, we're shit. Sometimes I open my Man United Twitter and like scroll more because I want to be like more angry. I'm almost like getting more enraged.
Oh.
For a bit. And then I'll be like, why am I doing this? But it's like a hateful.
Oh.
I want to like be hating on this with other people hating on it and see how embarrassing it is. That's weird. But I would never do that with people. I mean, what?
Because
what would
I used to
stop-
do that with the last guy I was seeing. I would be like, because I knew he was seeing other women, but he wouldn't tell me, and I was like, I knew it, and so I'd go on his who he follows, and I would just look at every girl, and I'd look and I'd be like, oh my god, he's liked her picture, they fucked. Oh my god, this another girl, they fucked. Oh my god, he's fucked another one. I'm like, how's he fucked 972 women?
It's good numbers.
It's crazy
That's
numbers.
like gigging numbers. That's like really doing your reps. Like
It's crazy numbers.
2 in a night, running from one to the other. Give me the light at 9. Finish up. It's But you, so okay, so you're doing that. But then you before talked about a guy who messaged you a lot, and you didn't want that.
Yeah.
So what's going on there? So what's the difference between completely being obsessed with a person who doesn't show you a lot of care, and then when a guy does show you a lot of care and attention, you didn't really want it that time? Not to say that he would have been a perfect guy, but what?
I don't know.
Because if you, in your ideal relationship, would you want to be messaging all the time? Because my now girlfriend, she would want to do that. She's such a quick responder, which I like.
I think there's a balance. When you don't like someone, it's like, and they're messaging you a lot, it's like, it's overwhelming. It's really overwhelming.
Yeah. I think that's how you can tell.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing about the ick and things, I just think it means you were never really like that person that much.
Yeah.
If one thing can put you off. You never really, I mean, it's always early. You don't really know them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I've had the absolute pleasure of having sort of casual stuff with like these really intelligent, good-looking women who were into me, who were like very responsive, very accommodating to my life and my schedule and stuff. But it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So you got to have a connection with someone. And there's other people that I've gone for and I've really wanted to be with them, and I've put my heart on the line. I've laid it out there. I've tried to be as romantic as possible. And again, I'm not for them. And it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So when is a guy going to be enough for you? Like because at the moment it feels like what's gripping you is the uncertainty. Has there ever been a time when a guy has been into you and you have been like, great, because I'm into them as well?
Not for a long, maybe for one day.
Was there a guy in a gig that you just saw in the audience that you thought we would get on? That was it.
No, there's the worst when there's an attractive guy in the front row.
Terrible.
It really stresses me out because I'm like, let me change my set real quick.
Yeah.
So, I don't do much. I just
I'm chill. I don't even do comedy. I'm so bad at this.
oh my god, what am I doing here? That's crazy. I work in marketing.
But yeah, is that not odd though? Do you not think that's odd?
Yeah, I do think it's
But
odd.
that's not. I don't think that would be because guys aren't into you. There's something going on there.
But I don't date. That's the problem. Is I
Yeah.
don't like.
And why not?
I think I'm really scared. I think I'm scared of multiple things. I'm scared of like wasting time, but then I'm also scared of giving myself to somebody. I think I'm scared of intimacy. I'm scared of really having someone get to know me. And I think that's why it's so easy to go back to people that I've been with before, because I'm like, oh, well, at least they kind of already know that me. Whereas like with other people, I have to explain, or I have to like justify, or I have to like.
You should get like a mental report, like a mental health report that you can just give to people.
Is that available?
Anxiety, obsessed, but high functioning anxious.
Yes,
That'd be nice if you could just send that in to people. Be like, if you're okay with 80% of this, then maybe we'll get
well,
on.
I usually just send them my set. Here's my tight 10. That's why with that guy, when he saw me after a show. Do you remember that guy?
Where was this?
Hardly talked about him.
Yeah.
But with that, I was like, whoa, he saw me and wasn't unattracted? Because I'm like, when I do, like, also the thing is with comedy and being a woman, I don't do it to be attractive. Like, I do it because I love it. And
no one likes attractive. You don't want, it's
You-
funny because people say, and social media has changed that. Like, I do think if you are good looking, it will help people engage with your clips originally. But you got to be funny.
You got to be funny.
Because no one's going to just be happy sitting there hearing a really hot person talk about how tough life is and it's not funny. They're not going to be like, great, I can't wait to go to the next show.
Yeah.
It's going to run out. So.
But I think that's also where it's a bit like, you know, guys can go up and be like, and then, but like the whole.
That's one of my better jokes, Katie. Don't butcher it.
But the whole time I'm on stage, I'm not really thinking about being attractive to the male gaze unless I see someone like physically, I see someone in the front row. And I think that's why like comedy is so freeing, because I think so much of my brain space is just taken by like I want to be attractive, or what should I do to like be attractive to people? And I think that's what really messes up my brain. I think the idea of being like, I want to be this person that guys find attractive, but I'm worried that the real person I am is just that no one's gonna really find that attractive unless they're a weird guy who messages me 70,000 times a day.
So I will say, so you've mentioned a couple of things there. So on that point about worrying about being your real self with people, I completely relate to that.
It's really scary.
My last show was about that basically, but I'd got to that point at 28 partly because I thought if anyone actually got to know the real me, they would hate it. And I don't want to get rejected for the real me. I'd rather people rejected a different version of me. And I'm always going to be indebted to my first love, my first girlfriend for that, because she completely broke me out of that. She was so good. She genuinely loved me for who I was, which I didn't think was possible.
And how did you know? How did you know, and how did you get over that fear?
How did I know what?
That she loved you for you.
Well, one is she told me I believed her. But it's just the way you're treated. I think I've never had that treatment before, the intimate moments, the way that in their eyes they can see. And I think, unfortunately and really heartbreakingly, you can tell when they've fallen out of love with you. And I've had that experience as well. When you see that light in the eye go. I mean, I remember that when we were breaking up, when we were like on course to break up, we always say like, love you before we left. And she changed that to love you lots, which is what she would say to her friends. And I was like, you can tell. So you can tell the other way. I mean, she was, definitely. Maybe she'd have something else to say on that, but I'd be very surprised if she was lying the whole time, because it felt very much like love. And it felt like for the first time I could be who I was, just in small things. Like, for instance, I thought when you date that you have to sleep together every time you hang out, because that's my experience of like, they're here because they want to. I don't have like a huge sex drive. You know what this career is like. You're tired. You're coming back home. It's 10:30, 11. You could have done a shit gig. You could have done a good gig, and you're still coming down from the endorphins and stuff. Yeah. And you've worked all day. You're not now going to turn on and have like an hour session of, so. And she was accommodating to that. It was like the first time I've ever been with someone who actually just made me a better person, but also took in all the bits I am. And I'm very lucky that my now girlfriend, I think, does that and more. Like, she really, like, we really connect on a lot of very sentimental, personal things. Yeah. And she is so empathetic and encouraging. But, they both were all that. And I think you'll know. I think you rarely hear people think someone loves them when they don't. I think, it's quite telling. I think you would know that. But yeah, I think that's one thing that I would say is very scary. I do take your point on that, because some people do it very early. Yeah. And they just fall in love, and I guess they just get that out of the way. I don't think I don't have that in me. I think I'm not scared to love, but I think I'm very, very scared to be loved. I think that's quite scary. This is the thing. I think you'd be a great girlfriend. This is the thing, Katie, because I think you're very conscientious. You want to experience life, and I think it's good dating people who want that. I think the scariest thing is dating someone who wants to be with you because they just want to not have to try, which I think some people get into relationships for that, because they basically want to do exactly what they do already, but not be judged for not going out, and just have someone who sits with them so it makes it all okay. Right. Whereas I think you'd be very caring. I think you'd be, because you're completely obsessed and mental. But like, for instance, my girlfriend, you've met her, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but she has anxiety. She has diagnosed anxiety, OCD. She has thoughts that repeat. It's very tough. But as a boyfriend, I mean, it's amazing to have someone who cares that much about you and is thinking about you so much and just loves you with this sort of almost like a, I don't know, like a dog, like a puppy love, I think you would give that to someone where you would be so like into them. And that's the only thing that I think I would say with my first relationship, where it was great and it was fantastic, but I think with a bit more of an objective mind now looking back, it was more, this is really fun. And as long as it stays fun, it's good. Yeah. But the minute something else is more fun and this is not as fun, this might have to go. And that's kind of what happened towards the end. So I think you'd be a great girlfriend for that, because I think you'd be invested and you'd be really there for that person. Yeah, but I do think it's about finding the right person who wants to find, like, of course. I think being the
the anxious person. I'm very similar to your girlfriend in the fact that like it's hard to find somebody who views it as a positive thing.
Mm. So how are you gonna find someone then?
I don't know. I just think it's like people say dating's a numbers game, and I'm really, really behind with the numbers. I'm so behind.
There's no numbers.
There's
negative numbers.
There's negative numbers.
There's
It's
definitely
crazy.
people that have been ruled out from
Yeah.
dates.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's not-
Yeah. I don't know. I've got to find. Part of me just thinks, because I went out with Marino when she was here, and I went
show.
out with my friend. Yeah, good friend of the show. And I just like the conversations. I'm like, I can't do this. If this
What
is what. Oh, what do you do?
Oh, you
where
went out.
from?
You got chatted up.
Yeah. Are you from California? What are you doing here? Seven times a night it happens.
That's a good question.
So I'm like, don't fucking ask.
Reform voters are out. What are you doing here?
But it's like, oh, I don't.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, culturally, if you don't like that, it is hard to meet an English guy on a night out.
I
'Cause that
think
will
it's
be a
just
lot
got to
of
be
chat.
an organic. And it's not English guys. I think it's just like the average person you meet on a night out. I think it's hard to find someone who really can see you for you. And I think this is what it's like. On one hand, I'm scared to be vulnerable, but on the other hand, I'm like, oh, just here's all of it. And what do you think?
Yeah, because are you
Yes
willing?
or no?
Because are you willing to build? Because sometimes, I mean, I will say, so the moment I knew I wanted to get into a relationship with my first girlfriend was, I remember waking up and we'd had a bit of an off on, because she works in comedy. I was a bit like, I'm not really sure I want to do this. She'd made it clear she would want to do something. I was like, I'm not sure I like this. It's a bit weird. Power dynamic's a bit strange. And then, so we're like, okay, we'll just be friends. It'll be fine. And then I remember waking up hungover after a night out, and I just thought, all I want to do is just hang out with her.
Wow.
And I'd never had that feeling before. And that was when I decided that, okay, I need to ask her out properly, because
Wow.
that's a special feeling. But that was, that kind of, we had to go, it was a bobbly way to get there. And it's hard to have that meeting someone first time. And with my now girlfriend, first date was great and it felt special. It felt different.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a while to like be just so naturally just like, yes, can't wait.
But did you know in the beginning there was something special?
Yeah. I knew from the first date. When we went to Paris, we went through messages, because I'd messaged 2 different group chats I had, said I went on a really good first date now. Like straight after the date. Like literally on the way, I was onto a gig. So on the way to the gig, I was like, just went on a great date.
Wow.
And now I'm like, been with that girl for like almost a year, which is nice. That's a nice feeling.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah. And then, 4 dates in, I asked if she wanted to come to Edinburgh with me for 3 nights. So. But yeah.
Wow. Because for me, I feel like every guy I meet, I'm like, he's great.
Every guy.
Most guys.
Do you think you're a good judge of character?
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm maybe getting a bit better at red flags. But what do you think are the worst qualities that I shouldn't go for when it comes to dating? It's absolute no.
I think the first one is, I think a big thing for you is if someone does not like you doing stand-up, that's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I think and also just, I think it says how immature and insecure that guy is. I honestly think men don't get enough, I don't know, just like criticism, honestly. There's a lot of like, oh, the bar's so low, they didn't put effort in. I think, but I think when I see the way female stand-ups are treated by your average man, it's mad. And I don't know whether, again, it's like a British thing, because a lot of British men want to be funny, and maybe other parts of the world it's not as big a deal. Maybe it's more a deal that they're better lover or dancer or whatever. But here it's a big thing. But it shows how insecure so many men are, that they can't have a partner who's like funnier than them. I think it's bizarre. So I think that would be the big one for me. I think you got to have someone. I remember, because I was chatting to my friend who's just started doing a bit of comedy here and there, and she works in for an agency, but she just started doing a bit of comedy herself, which is cool. And she's been having this like she's out of a relationship fairly recently. She had like a casual thing with this guy, and she's posted some videos, but on like a separate profile that she's trying to keep hidden, because she's a bit embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
But like wants to do it and doesn't want to work to find out stuff. And the guy she found the videos, and they were like, oh my God, just found this page. And then he was like, oh, I had to stop watching in case I got the ick. And you're like, how pathetic is that?
Yeah.
And these videos, she said, a couple of them done well. And this guy couldn't. Oh, imagine a woman making jokes or take it upon themselves to make videos. Why don't you just do a boring get ready with me where you look hot? That would be nice. That's the kind of video I'd appreciate.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. So I think you would have to be with someone, a guy, I'd say a red flag. If they have any problems with you doing stand-up, I think they're pathetic.
Yeah. Okay. Now, green flags. What am I looking for here?
Basic decency.
Basic. Okay.
But honestly, I mean, I try to have this bit. I couldn't wait to get it to work as a stand-up clip, but I get very good reviews largely from people I date and people I have casual stuff with.
Yeah.
Because of the basic stuff I do.
No, but you're a good guy. You're.
I just don't think what I do is that good. I think part of it, I was raised in a matriarchy, right? My mum's in charge.
Right.
My sister's also very headstrong and very competent. It was never a thing of like, women wouldn't shout at you or tell you off.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe there's guys who've grown up in a household where women are seen as lesser or like, I don't know. But I've just always, I have like a fear that I'm going to get told off, right?
Okay.
And so I would just, I'll be having a casual hookup with someone and we both agreed it's casual. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're both adults. I'm 31, they're 32. It's not a thing anymore. It's not. So it's like, right, yeah, I'm free there. I'll come over after the gig. Cool. Sleep together. Sex is good. All fine. I've got to leave in the morning. It's all good. I'll just message them. Thanks for having me. Great fun as usual. Have a great day. And then...
See, that's a good quality.
You know what I mean? But for me, that is the most basic thing. That's taken no effort. And also, I mean it. I'm like, thanks for having me over. I had a great time. Have a great day. I've not said anything about we should do that again, or I've not said anything about like, oh, I'm going to be thinking about you all day. Basic stuff, right?
Right.
But that would, people would be like, oh, you're nice for doing that. Because it seems like other people just have, they see that sort of event as a completely transactional thing. And I even have it the other way of like, well, sometimes don't message people that because then they'll start thinking you're into them. What? It's insane. Well, I've not been on dating apps for 8.5 years, and I think I've just avoided this sort of Vietnam War experience that so many people have had, that I'm not traumatized. I just behave like a human being, and people go, whoa, this guy's like a throwback from the 50s. I feel like dating as a guy, for me, is like, it's like being at the Paralympics, but I've got dyslexia.
Right.
I don't think I'm special. I think that's how, I think people are bad out there.
Yeah.
So I think, basic decency, I think, is a big green flag, supposedly.
Right.
If someone, wants to walk you back, if someone wants to message you and go, how you doing? If someone instigates conversation, not waiting days to talk about stuff.
Right. Not waiting days, even if they're in a different time zone.
My thing is, someone should always be able to reply within 24 hours.
24 hours.
If they can't reply within 24 hours, then... And also, some people don't like messaging, and that's fair enough, but do you want to be with someone like that? I wouldn't want to be with someone like that. Who's like, oh, I had to go off my phone for 3 days. No.
No.
I don't want to be with that. My ex, my first girlfriend, this is how she improved me. She had to tell me that. Because I normally do messages in one day. And I just put her in that, well, I'll get back to her in one day. And she had to be like, so, Ali, you know how we're in a relationship? Yeah, I might need a few more messages than just your haul of replies.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm seeing you later. It's like, so I learned that. And now I do that in this relationship. I did that with her. And
right.
I'm glad she told me.
What do you think your biggest lesson is that you learned from your first relationship?
It's got to be that it's always better for it to be loved than not work out.
It's always...
Better to go and love. It's better to have loved and lost. It's such a cliche. But my experience with her of breaking this seal of being loved for who I am was incredible. I'm always forever going to be indebted for her for that. Because she was amazing for that. She just let me realize that I can be myself and be loved. And the sooner you can do that, the better. Now, for getting into a second relationship, so I had a period of, I don't know, about 6 months after that relationship where I was like, I'm not going to date anyone properly. I'm just going to have a flings. I'm going to build my self-confidence, my self-worth.
Yeah.
Have fun. And do all the stuff that I couldn't do in a relationship, And then after the 6 months, I was like, right, I think I'm now ready to date properly again. And it was amazing how much more happy I was on the date to be who I am, to just be
Wow.
Me. And, you know, for instance, my now girlfriend, we had one date. Classic comedian. The first date went well. It was just lunch and a walk.
Nice.
Sunny day. We have this thing that we were at Clissold Park. We're going to recreate it for our anniversary in 3 weeks' time.
Cute.
We're going to the same restaurant. We're going to walk around Clissold Park. And we sat on this bench. Beautiful sunny day. Then clouds came over. It started raining. I had an umbrella. We sat under my umbrella and we're chatting. She always rips me because she was like, I thought you were going to kiss me then. And I'm like, but I was just met you. But we have this thing. So that was
Okay.
it was beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
So I had this great first date, but we couldn't meet each other for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I suggest, and I would not have done this,
Mm-hmm.
I think, before, but I suggested, do you want to do a call? Do you want to do, so we messaging, and then I voice noted her,
Yeah.
and then she voice noted me back. And then I was like, this is weird, but we won't be able to actually meet, but do you want to like have a call? And my friend, and she was like, yeah. And my friend said I'd date like I'm in the 90s. Where like I met her because I got set up by a friend, and now I'm like at home on the landline calling.
Yeah, but that's so
that's-
refreshing.
Well, that's it. And that I only got because of my ex. I could do that because I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I wasn't like, oh, don't. What if she gets weirded out? I'm like, if she's, I'm not saying she has to. I'm just saying, and I said it. I was like, I know it might be a bit weird, but seeing as we're not going to be able to see each other for still a while,
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to catch up on the phone and just call. And she was like, yeah. And then we had like an hour phone call just before bed, you know, just catching up. Not FaceTime, just like normal call.
Right.
And then, and it was great. And that is, I'm indebted to my first girlfriend for stuff like that.
So you
Because now I
learned a
can be
lot
myself.
about the importance of being yourself.
Yeah, of knowing that you, and this is what I'm saying with the comedy stuff. It's like you've got to be with someone who loves you. What's the point otherwise?
Yeah.
What's the point? Love a version of you. This whole thing of I'm tricking them into liking me and stuff. I just think, what's the point? I've had 2 very happy relationships, and both of them, my now girlfriend still loves, and my last, they love me for who I am. I do really mean that. And you know, my first girlfriend broke up with me for who I am as well, but
Yeah.
that was fine because it meant that I could still be loved, and now I can really be authentically myself. And I think that's the best times in life are when you're just being yourself.
Right.
I said this to her because she's a bit odd as well. And I said this to her when we started dating, and maybe when she'd come up to Edinburgh, I said, I thought of this line. I kind of want to use it in a script at some point, but I thought of it for us. And it's really how I feel. And it's like, I'm weird and you're weird. But when we're together, being weird feels normal.
That's cute.
And that's how I
That's
feel.
really cute.
Yeah, that's how I feel with her. So I think, but that's it. You know, when
Yeah.
you meet someone who loves you for you, all that stuff about yourself that you go, God, I'm so different, weird and strange. The other person accepts that. And you suddenly feel like, wow, what I've actually been acting weird with everyone else.
Yeah.
It's great.
Because there is a big pressure of when you're with somebody who you think doesn't like you for certain reasons.
I mean, now, again, when I look back with a more objective eye on some parts of my first relationship, I think there were some times that I felt, yeah, if I really went into my weirdness, I think she would find that a bit like weird.
Yeah.
And so I would maybe pull back a bit. Not a lot, but just on some stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't, do that really.
What do you think your weirdest quality is?
So I think how intense I am. I think I'm an intense guy.
Like intense in in everything?
I think how I treat work and my life.
Yeah, you're very work oriented. You're
Very.
very yeah.
Yeah, intense. And again, my first girlfriend was very accommodating and supportive of that. And it came to a point where that kind of faded.
Yeah.
But and she had her own life as well, to be fair. So it wasn't just she. Right, and she was very ambitious as well. So it kind of came to a point that ended. But I think that's what people can struggle with. Because I mean, I don't know how you feel dating people when you do comedy. I tell people it's like I already have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like I have something in my life that I think about all the time. I wake up thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I have plans for months in advance with this thing. Every evening I'm with
yeah.
comedy. It's like I have a relationship. You would be a relationship as well. But I think that's the easiest way to describe it. Because almost like, people don't know comedy. They go, when's your next gig? It's tonight. You're gigging tonight?
Yeah.
When's your next gig after that? I'm doing 2 tonight. What?
Yeah.
Are you gigging tomorrow as well? Yeah, I'm gigging every fucking day.
Yeah, when people are like, oh, you really seriously do
Mad.
this?
They think you have one gig in like 3 weeks time.
Yeah, and
you're
I'm
gonna
like,
get paid
no, I've
10
had
10,000.
18 gigs this week.
Yeah.
You're like,
they
yeah.
have no idea. They think comedy, and then, that one gig you'll do in 3 weeks, you'll get paid $1,000 for it or something like that. They don't know how it works.
Yeah.
They don't know that you just got to hustle and work and work and work.
Yeah.
So I'm very weird.
That's a good way to put it about like you're already in a relationship. So maybe I have had a boyfriend. Maybe I can quit this podcast.
Well, I genuinely think, though, I think to cut yourself some slack, I think that is true. I think there is truth in that. I think if you are like us and you're ambitious about making a dream come true, I think it is just harder to.
It's a full-time job.
A lot of people, they have a life which is fine. They have a fine life. They work a job that's okay. They have their friends and their family who they probably love. That's great. But a relationship, there's space for it.
Yeah.
There's a chasm where they'd love someone to cook their dinner with them after work and, watch a shitty TV show that they kind of half care about together. They've got this space.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So
No.
that's why it has got to be someone really special. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And I feel for my now girlfriend. Like, because my ex was a very busy one. And my now girlfriend, her work is intense and stuff. And she has friends and stuff. But I love this about her. She openly admits this. She would love to have me around more. She would love to have me around. And I have to say to her, I know it's not going to happen. And she's like, I completely understand. And
Yeah.
that's why I love her so much. I love her. I'm like tearing up because of that. Because of having someone in your life who is that accommodating and that supportive, whilst also openly admitting how much they would love to have you around more.
Yeah.
It's great. So you doing comedy, it is time consuming. And whenever you go to like a city where people are like very ambitious and work oriented, like New York as well, everyone's plans are way back, way back. People are waiting till they're 40. Maybe I'm going to settle down now. I'm 40.
Yeah.
Whereas like you compare yourself with other people who live in a town or what's going on? What is going on?
Yeah.
They have to get married and have kids. That's why we're here, to have kids.
Yeah.
So we don't have that.
It's a big sacrifice.
It is. And it's also options, right? Like
Yeah.
if you were to now move to a town, get a day job, if you wanted to actually date, you'd be comparing people and go, well, they're the best, aren't they? They're good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, good enough I think is a big fear. I think it's very scary, good enough.
So what's your fit when you say fit? You're going to date someone who's fine and they're going to waste
I
your
actually
time?
don't think I'll date someone who's fine. I think that's why it's like people say I'm picky, but it's like I'm not really picky in the standard of icks or whatever. Like I think I'm just like I'm always worried about time, and I don't want to waste time with somebody, and so I think that like I'm very. Like, conversation is really important to me. I think when I say about my fears around dating, my fear is I think being loved. I think I'm scared. I think it's like it's when it's like the thing you want the most, especially because I fixate on it. And I've been fixating on like wanting to be claimed so much and wanting to be with
And
somebody.
what is that thing wanting to be claimed?
Like somebody.
I feel like that's from one of those books over there.
No, it's from my own brain.
Oh, wow. God, even worse.
But it's like just wanting to be somebody being like, I'm with so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'm with Katie. Here's a picture of us together. We're having fun. Here's her and her ice cream cone. She's crazy.
Yeah, I do take your point on that one. The two times. I had an early relationship. It was only a couple of months, and it was long distance. So I kind of feel like we never got in love or anything like that. But she was very nice as well. But that walking around when you've officially got into a relationship, that first week after, I think it's great. It really is. When you just feel not to.
Yeah, I'm like, love to know how that feels.
Yeah, but it is true. I mean, you just walk around and you think, wow, I've got a girlfriend. That's so great. I get to tell people that. I feel like I'm taken care of. I feel like I'm someone's boyfriend. I love being someone's boyfriend. I really do. It's really enjoyable. And it's pretty easy as well because there's so many shit boyfriends. It's great.
Yeah.
I honestly I can't begin to tell you the amount of women that I've sort of casually dated, had a few dates with, like hung out with, who are just amazing. And you're like, and they're like talking about how tough dating is. And you go, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You're having
It's
such a
bleak
tricky
out
time.
there.
But I think also I go for a lot of personality. I like the hang.
Yeah.
The hang's the best. That's the thing. Because that's the only thing that's going to last. And I think there's so many people who just, someone just fits.
Yeah.
They fit what they want in the next 5 years. You ever hang out with a couple and you're like, what do you two even talk about?
We have hung out with couples.
Yeah.
And you're like, what did you talk about?
Yeah.
But it's, you know what? Yeah, but I don't think I'd be that. I think I'm a very loquacious person. I'm very.
You don't shut the fuck up.
I don't.
Loquacious is a good word, by the way.
Yeah.
Good drop there. Only a loquacious person would know that one.
But you know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, my girlfriend's the same as well. Like that was. She actually asked me this yesterday. She said, it was quite funny. I landed myself in it. It was literally last night. She goes, because she loves talking about our relationship, anything about it, which I imagine you would be as well.
Yeah.
She's one of those, you know, those clips where it's like when you get them to tell you for the 1000th time how they liked you and asked you out and stuff, and they're still like, yeah,
Yes.
that's she's like that. So, which I love because it's fun. I get to talk about myself, which is great. But yeah, she said, did we ever worry that I wasn't into you? And I was like, no, not really. I wasn't ever worried that you weren't into me. And she went, why'd you say you like that? Were you not into me? And I was like, no, it's just. But I said, what was worrying was that at the start, because of her nerves and her anxiety, she would be very in her shell when we would go on dates early on. And I would have to do a lot of talking at the start. She would want to just know about my day and stuff, just so that she would be able to then relax into it and feel like, oh, it's okay for me to talk about myself now because he's talked to her enough about himself. I'm like, fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
I want the real you. Like, talk to me.
It's really hard. I have that problem as well. Like when I'm with, I've been on a few dates where I'm with them and then I'm nervous to talk and I'm like, it's obviously not me because I talk for a living, but there's something about like not wanting to say something, or like I'll say something so stupid, like, or something like, or like, and I'll overthink so much. I'll like specific conversation, like, and I'll be like, I ruined it. I fucking ruined it. And
correct, yeah. That's crazy. I have the complete opposite problem.
yeah. Oh wow. So you're like, I fucking nailed that.
They're probably crying. They're like, oh god, the conversation's over. It was the best I've ever had. I generally walk away from conversations sometimes thinking I'll probably change their life.
Well, that's been
me to
fantastic.
thank.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're basically wrapping this up. I'm sure I'll have you again. How long do you think this podcast is gonna last?
I don't think this is going out.
You think I'll get a boyfriend by the time I edit it?
No, not that. No, I don't think it's getting edited.
Fuck. Okay, don't worry.
I think the only way this is coming out if you get a boyfriend who edits. That's what you need.
If there's any boyfriends out there, no one.
I'll tell you what would be good
Mm-hmm.
as a side part for this. I think is for you to go on a date between each episode.
Oh.
And then talk about that date as well.
I don't want to exploit men for material.
No, yeah, I
though.
get that point, but I think it'd be more good setting yourself a deadline of like,
yes,
I got to have a date in order to record a podcast.
I read a book about that, about how you got to put a deadline and go on the date. That's a good idea. We'll talk. I'll talk about that with my editor. Thank you for doing this, Allie Woods. Thanks
my pleasure. I can talk about this stuff all day. I really
Well,
appreciate
look, we'll
having
have
me.
you back very soon.
Yeah.
When I realize that this all hasn't worked. Oh
Wasn't
God.
plugged in.
Is there anything you want to plug? Well, you're doing Edinburgh this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, this ain't gonna go out before Edinburgh, but yeah, I'm. So I'm doing Edinburgh 2028. If anyone wants to come, and I don't know when this will go out, but I am at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year. I also will have a new special dropping soon. It might be up by the time this is out. That will be on my YouTube. It's called At the Moment. If you want to watch that, it's a very personal. And
It's
if
a
you're
very
into dating,
good show. It's a
if you're
very,
into
very
dating
good
and falling
show.
in love, a lot of the stuff I've been talking about now is about in that. So if you want to watch that, then you are more than welcome. And then otherwise, yeah, just drop me a follow, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Allie Woods Gigs.
Allie Woods Gigs, that's me.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me, Katie.
Okay.
And also, whoever will be your boyfriend will be very lucky because you are a very intelligent, funny, beautiful woman.
Thank you, Allie. You hear that, boys? You hear that? Straight from a boy.
Yeah. I mean, mentally, you are a bit.
I'll cut that out.
That's-
I hope it's not recording. None of that.
That's quite fun. But the
You're
rest.
intelligent.
You're intelligent.
Yeah, I have some degrees. One's in acting. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's really nice. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Great ending. Thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of Never Had a Boyfriend. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a good review. That really helps. Please subscribe for future episodes wherever you're listening. And if you really, really loved it and want to support more, I do have a Patreon, and that's an amazing way to get exclusive content, bonus bits, and first updates from me. Thank you so much, and we will speak next week. Bye-bye.